Aloha everyone, my name is Alessandro and this is the Temple of Surf, the podcast. We'll give you full access to the best surfers, skaters, shapers, surfboard collectors, shop owners in the world. Discover with me their stories, the greatest successes, amazing behind the scenes, and much more. This episode is brought to you by Yogi Pipe, a line of apparel created with eco-friendly materials by artisans from all over the world. Let's discover more about them and their collection on www.yogipipe.surf. Hello everyone and welcome to the 23rd episode of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today with us is Maria Fernanda Bastidas, surf photographer from Puerto Escondido, Mexico. Let's discover more about her, surf photography, and much more. Hi Maria Fernanda and welcome to the show. Where are you today?
Thank you so much for the invitation. I am in Puerto Escondido in Mexico.
Amazing. How's it going over there at the time of coronavirus? People can go to the beach, can go to surf, or it's all confined?
So it started to be, at the beginning the beach was closed and then they put a schedule so you could go surf, swimming, mostly just doing a workout or being active at the beach from 6 in the morning till 9. And then they put the time, they opened the time till 2 in the afternoon. And right now they are allowing people at the beach as long as people are active. They're running, walking, surfing, swimming, kayaking, whatever it is for the wellness of the people. It's okay.
It's nice. So gradually things are opening up. So let's hope for the best. Today we're not going to talk about coronavirus. We're going to talk about surf photography, surf, and your career, of course. But the first question that I have for you is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
Do practice. You have to be doing it. You stop surfing for years, or you still you haven't been in the ocean for years, you kind of lose that part. So I think for me, the best thing in surfing is being constant and doing every day and practice every day.
And if I have to ask you the same question on surf photography, what would be your answer?
It is the same. It's being as prepared as you can, and you can be prepared by doing it constantly. You have to be swimming because, you can train outside of the water. You can swim. You can run. You can go to the gym, but it's not the same as being in the ocean, swimming, practicing what you usually do.
Okay. Do you remember your first surfboard, the first time you started to surf?
Yes, I was 18 years old. I did not grow up in the ocean, so for me, it was a little bit older. And I took a surf lesson when I was 18 at a beach town here in Mexico City. And I didn't started practicing it more till I was like 24, that I would spend more time in California.
And how important is the fact that you surf with surf photography? It's relevant for you, or you think they are two completely different subjects?
Well, for me, I think it's way better to be good at swimming, but I think it is important to have the knowledge of the sport and how it works, because to be a good surf photographer, you have to understand how surfing is done, how it works, the waves, the surfer, how it moves, the speed that they have, the tricks that they do. So I think it's very important to have that notion, or at least know how to surf. But it's not as crucial to be very good surfing to be a good photographer.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. How did you start surf photography? What was the transition that made you be a surf photographer or interested in surf photography?
Well, I grew up as a swimmer, so I was a swimmer since I was 7 years old, like a high-performance swimmer. And so for me, the water was always a part of my life, and I was so used to it, and I was a strong swimmer forever. But then when I graduated from college, I went to Hawaii to volunteer at an organization, and I met this surf photographer. His name is Peter Sterling, and he wanted to pass on what he knew to someone else, like his knowledge. And so I was there. I was the one that I asked him, I would love to learn from you. And so he said, yes, if you are serious about this, then you'll have to come back in the winter. So that's what I did. And then he helped me a lot to learn about currents and wind, channels, how the surfer works, and where to position yourself as a surf photographer. So that's how everything started.
Yeah, but definitely it's like kind of legacy, like that he gave to you and for you to transmit to others one day, right? So I think it's an amazing story. Apart of him, who are your reference in surf photography?
Well, I admire a lot of surf photographers all around the world. Of course, there's the most famous ones, in Hawaii, like Zach Noel or Clark Whittle, even though I don't do his style of surf photography, but it's very well known. Spielman, and then there's other surf photographers that I admire a lot, that most of them are actually from Australia. I think the Australian ones are probably one of like the craziest ones. They swim in the biggest waves. There's another Portuguese photographer that usually shoots in Indonesia. It's Diego Dore, and he is amazing. He's like, when he's shooting, he loses himself in the waves and he gets in the craziest positions. So I think for me, those are the photographers that I admire, because they challenge me to get better at shooting in more risky situations, but at the same time being very careful and prepared.
Let's talk about this risky situation. How do you deal with the adrenaline of taking a picture, and you are taking amazing picture, and fear?
Well, I consider fear, it's always good. Panic is what is dangerous. Okay. When you have panic, then you're in trouble. Then it's dangerous. But fear always makes you question things and put things into perspective and be careful about it. It's just a matter of controlling it, and overcoming it, but in a safe way. So I think the more prepared you are, gives you more peace once you're in the water and allows you to be calm and manage your fear in a healthy way.
Yeah, definitely be calm in the water. It's a good suggestion, even if you surf or you swim. If something happens, be calm is definitely the most very important. We said before about your portfolio, and you have amazing shots. Is there one that would you choose as the one that would represent your work?
I feel like I have a couple. Depends for what it is, but of course I have like my selection of favorite photos. And there's one that has a great meaning to me. It's like very close to me, and it's a shot I got 3 years ago here in Puerto Escondido, which is Mexico. It's my country. Yeah. And it's probably the day that I've swum the biggest here. And then the surfer in the photo is was a Mexican surfer, probably one of the best and most recognized surfers in Mexico, and he died a couple months after. So it's just like the meaning of that photo for me is so big, like all of it, how it all represents. And I think that is one of my favorite photos like I've ever gotten.
Definitely very, very meaningful. If you had to say the best moment of your career, which one would it be so far?
That's an interesting one. I think there's moments that are like big stepping stones. Like, having a cover in a magazine when you start, that's like your dream. Yeah. Or for me, it was also being in Surfer Magazine, published in Surfer Magazine. I think that's also a good one. Or right now that I got nominated, one of my photos got nominated for the Big Wave Awards. That's, like it's just stepping stones that you have. But I think for me, the most meaningful has been being recognized by other surf photographers and like get on the spotlight of some of them by achieving, or like when I swam here in Port of Canoe when it was the biggest and getting good shots in it. A lot of surf photographers and even surfers like just texted me to congratulate me or like recognize my work. And I think probably that was one of my most proud moments.
Okay, no, very interesting. Yes, I agree with you. When your colleagues are appreciating you, there is like no greater satisfaction, right? Because those are the same people that know what is the risk and what are the conditions on which you're taking photos and picture, and definitely if they respect your work means a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell me about your equipment. What is your favorite lens to use, and what is your camera?
I use my favorite cameras, my Nikon D800. I have the 24 to 85 millimeters, which is very versatile. But then my favorite photos, I have gotten them with my 70 to 200 in the water. The problem is it's very heavy and big, so it's a little harder to swim with it. But I've got my favorite photos with that one. And then my water housing, it's SPL water housing. And I use my favorite fins are Churchill Macapoo. I also have another setup for video, which I'm starting slowly to get more into. I still love photos more than anything, but I have my Sony Alpha 6500 with liquid eye water housing, and that's the one that I use when I shoot video.
Okay, thanks a lot. I interview many surf photographers in the world, and Nikon is the one most chosen. I would maybe 90% of the people use Nikon. It's something like
wow,
very interesting to me. It's like in concert photography, for instance, is all Canon. Mostly Canon, but it's interesting. In the water, Nikon is much better, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah, I love the quality of Nikon. Like, it's just, the photos come out so good, and it captures the whole essence of it.
Definitely.
So perfectly.
The sharpness of the picture are very good with Nikon.
Yeah.
Tell me about your future plans. What's next?
It's very hard right now with the whole, because all the plans that we had for this year,
yes,
they all got canceled, I guess, or shifted or changed. So it's difficult to know what's going to happen next year. But I do have in mind, I don't know if it's going to be possible, this project with another amazing surf photographer from Australia. We both are women, and we were thinking about maybe traveling on the west coast of Australia and documenting our, what we do and like what it takes to be shooting big waves as a woman. So we have that plan. Well, we want it to happen maybe between March, April. But we're, of course, waiting to see what is going to happen to, with the world and everything.
The future is so uncertain, but let's hope for the best. Yeah, it would be very, very nice.
Yes, exactly.
Trip to Australia.
And then, of course, I would like to come back to Tahiti. I wanted to do that this year, but of course it didn't happen. So Tahiti is also in my list. And Chile. I haven't gone to Chile yet, and hopefully it will happen next year.
Amazing. A lot of projects. Let's hope for the next year, 2021, right?
Yes.
Let's hope. We're going to finish our interview with a short Q&A session, so please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind, okay?
Okay, perfect.
The best surfboard that you ever ridden?
A fun board.
Definitely. Personal question, your favorite song?
Whoa, okay. Perdóname, which is the Latin one.
Okay.
With the Tahitian remix.
Okay, cool. Your favorite photo, but not yours?
Wow. Crazy. That's hard. Okay, I know which one. Definitely. Steelman took a photo of Guillermo Tamega, a bodyboarder in Pipeline last winter, and it's the biggest wave at Pipeline that I've ever seen. I think they captured it in the exact moment, and it's just insane. It looks like it's Photoshop, but I know it's true because a lot of photographers showed, and it looked like that. So yeah.
Your favorite surf spot?
Cicatela. I would say Cicatela. It's very challenging, very hard. So I think that's what makes it so enticing.
Cool. Your favorite surfer?
Mason Ho.
The last question is a little bit unusual, has nothing to do with surf or surf photography, but we ask everybody on the show. So get ready. We want to know your best relationship advice.
I think honesty and respect.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you. If there is no honesty and respect, then it cannot be a relationship. It's a start.
Yeah, and I think it works for everything, like friendship, love, family,
definitely.
any kind.
I agree with you. Thanks a lot, Maria Fernanda, for being on the show with me today, and I look forward to talk to you very soon.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm glad we finally were able to do it, even though I did not cooperate with us much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity and for having me.
Ciao. Bye-bye. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!